number there bobaga and the nang chiga. Dung la ni yang pala ni tuji sigayos.
So first of all, Rinpoche want to say thank you for coming today to listen his talk on the history of Tibetan Buddhism in Tibet.
Ani ju polomba la nang bichi de jongni ta tanda badlo chudong samja khares. Ani tigang la be jetang ko ngebu cha sang ko rang shin res. Tambo me bani yobani ya jenroa thama de la ni nyam cha ando ya dang tan dam da jong aji yo wa. Jira mo po thewa de ko ngebu tham chi rang shin res.
So it's now 1,300 years since Buddhism come to Tibet. 1,300 years Tibetan Buddhism is old. So generally speaking, Rinpoche says it's nature of every phenomena. That first there is generation, there's a time of abidance or dwelling or progress, then eventually disintegrate or to be destroyed. Rinpoche says that is the nature of everything that exists in the universe.
Yang pena ju nang be chi de bolong ba jong ne ko ta lu chi dong song ja rang de la pena ju da pol mar la ju kare gang la ni ju chenang kare gang la ya jen ro ya le bi pan tu chen bo zhong yu wa le cheng yi bu ya yi na le nang seng ge ya yi na le ni ja la pan tu zhong yu wa le.
So Geshe-la said during this period, 1,300 years, Buddhism has helped Tibetans in both ways, spiritually and materially. Spiritually, it helped to develop a better spiritual understanding and ethics of Tibetan people, and also it helped materially to develop Tibet.
Then now, Yang been a Jew, Bolomba, Chumsi Jacob, then Yami and a Sobo and a Jew. Young the young Chumsi, young Mila, young, then Nansen, and the Pantochimo Joyaris.
Yes. So, anyway, the spread of Buddhism into Tibet, it doesn't only help the Tibetan people, it also helped its neighboring countries such as Mongolia and China.
Ani tade chetang ge ji bolong ba jong nang bi chi jibo ma le si bena nang bi chi de ja ga ne ani ja na la jong adi yang Korea dang ani Japan dang den da le pan to jong yo de jiban lo le si.
So Geshe-la, which is say is very similar to, for example, Buddhism was born in India, then it spread first to China, then it was benefited to Japan and Korea, because from China, Buddhism spread to Korea and Japan.
Tabena bolongba da yami longba ni ga ji ko rikshong go logi ji na pe yami te lo tong tong pe tanda pe dev ge na la ti yo yu lo tong tong nga ga ni rang ni tanda ba de ti yo aris ani ta bolongba ina ji tong sun ja na res ta ye na be na nang bi chi de ani bolongba da yami longba ni la jong ne ji chi de nyam len ja da nga ni ji nang bi chi de shi chen bu sin ta ya de ba ji bo ba da yami ji ba na jong sha si logi rang tong re ma do ji chi la len ja de ba ji ba da shi che jong ji ba da jong sha si.
So then from Rinpoche's point of view, in many written books, it seems like China's civilization is 5,000 years old. And also Buddhism was spread to China maybe prior to Tibet, then later into Tibet. But then in terms of preserving Buddhism and practicing Buddhist religion into action, In this case, he didn't see any difference between China and Tibet. Although Buddhism come later compared to China, but in terms of real to preserve the Buddhism and put into practice, in this case, he didn't see any difference because of timing.
Yang bena chibare se polong bate la yang chu chilu yuwa nang shin ta chilu yogi la yang bel nang lo le chi chi ama ya no de na mang bu jong ares ani chi de nang ji yan la yang be nang be chi yoyu ne yang chi chi ge ma do le sem je mong bu jong yo are ani chi ge phan ma do be sem je mong bu jong ne long ba ne chi chi ama ya de mong bu jong yo ares de so phan ma tho be yang ri jong ares.
So then it does not mean that once Buddhism flourish in a country, then every hardships and every fightings will be pacified. That is not the case. In Tibet, even after dissemination of Buddhism into Tibet, there are so many internal fightings, or fighting between two provinces after a collapse of Tibetan dynasty. Similarly, in China, if you investigate China after flourishing of Buddhism into China, still there are so many fightings, fighting between two great power or two tribal or two provinces or warlords. So it does not mean that when once Buddhism flourishes, everybody will be benefited. It can benefit for a certain extent, but not in a universal way.
어때도 지바 단다데비 이실롱바에나 이시치 요기 레데 아니 치르다 잠기장 그요아리 같이 롱바에나 치르데 요기 베카치가 아니 용당파 가다치네 아니 치 마임 빌리가 장그 마보 정도 요아데 남불랑 간가단다 지바를 왔지.
So, and then such thing is again something universal. In the West, Christianity flourish, and even between Christianities, so many fightings, so many internal fightings or factional fighting have seen in the history. Similarly with also Muslim in the Middle East, even though they are all Muslims, but still then there's fighting between different sects or different tribes. So such things are very natural that the religion cannot help universally.
Nambichi na richikare na da lomba de la yuwa zamgun da pan richila pan to yuwa richila panani toma toa da dilagu yimsen de.
So the reason why I'm trying to tell all this point is I want to pay attention to my very specific point. That is, what I want to say to you is that Buddhism can benefit a large number of people. At the same time, there will be a large number of people who cannot be benefited.
Oh yeah.